Hey, you guys, welcome back. This is Let's Talk Politics with Frederick Wilson, and I am he. You know the calling numbers, 917-932-1078. You know when we go on, that is every Monday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. All right? Every Monday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Now, our next show, which will be August 11th, we're going to have on our show Supervisor of Elections, Jerry Holland. That's right. He is the Supervisor of Elections in Jacksonville, Florida, where we hail out of. But the information that we're going to bring to you is you can apply this to whatever supervisor elections office you're in, because we're going to be talking about something very important, and that term is called gerrymandering. G-R-R-Y-M-A-N-D-E-R-I-N-G. Gerrymandering. Ugly handwriting, but you get the point. Have you ever heard the term gerrymandering? Now, some of us have. Some of us haven't, but I'm going to break it down just a little bit because Jerry is going to go, no pun intended, Jerry's going to go into detail about it on tomorrow. And I want to make sure you tune in to get it. All right, what basically gerrymandering is creating a voting block in which one group or one race of people it'll help to ensure that that race of people wins an election. All right, so this came about during the civil rights movement and issues going on with making sure that minorities, blacks in particular, get proper representation in Congress. So after the fights and debates and struggles and argues go back and forth, Florida became one of a few states whose districting has to be approved by the federal system. Most states make their own choices. They set up their own districts. But again, Florida is one of the few that has to have federal oversight. So every few years, every 10 years, we have a census. And of course, you know what the census is. It just basically gathers data about people. How many people in your family, what's your race, what's your makeup, where do you live, those type of things. And with that in mind, they make sure that the gerrymandered districts that they created stay gerrymandered in the way that they want them to be gerrymandered. All right? So right now, we had a federal judge, some people challenging the way Corrine Brown's district, she's out of District 5, and they're challenging the way her district was gerrymandered. And let me give you just a quick background with that. The argument is that since her district, and not just hers, but this is the one that's up right now, since the district is artificially created, it does not give proper representation of the people. Now, I'm not going to argue if that's right or wrong, good or bad. I just want you to understand what's happening. So when Jerry comes on tomorrow, maybe it'll spark some questions. It'll help you better understand it. So when you turn on your news, your Fox, your CNN, whatever it is you're going to listen to, you know that you got the real deal, the background information that you need to really understand it from me on Let's Talk Politics with Frederick Wilson. So let me give you a little illustration. Gerrymandering, again, that is to artificially create a district in which one group of people will be favored to win over another. I'll give you an example. We'll call this a state. All right? And it could be any state in the country. I'm going to call this the state of what we're in, confusion. Yes, Lord. This is anywhere USA. The state of confusion. Now, what's happening here is the federal government says that we have to create this block. We have to, with the population, get 3 representatives out of this. And we'll say in this area is mostly white people live in this area. And we'll say mostly black people live in this area. And then we'll say mostly Hispanics live in that area. All right, so these people just live in these areas. And now we definitely have to get 3 based on the population. So the powers that be up and say, whatever capital is says, we'll district these, we'll block these things off this way. One district, another district, and another district. Since mostly white people live in this area, statistically speaking, they'll probably get a white person to run and win office. Since mostly black people live in this area, same statistics, more than likely a black person's going to run, and a black person will win. Hispanics aren't any different, so here we'll have an Hispanic as well. So going to U.S. Congress, we have a white person, we have a black person, and we have a Hispanic person, and that is pretty much what we have in this area. So in some people's eyes, we have proper representation in Washington, D.C. for this block of people. Make sense? Okay. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not here to argue if it does or doesn't, right or wrong, good or bad. I just want to show you what's going on. Now let's get rid of these voting blocks here. We're going to get rid of this. Now say these guys, somebody else came up in Tallahassee and said, hey, I got another proposal. How about we draw the lines this way? You still getting 1 block, 2 block, 3 blocks. You're still getting your representatives. You're still getting 3 of them because these people haven't moved. The population is still the same. Now we're just saying these folk are now in different voting blocks. And when you once had a majority of the same race of people in the block, now you don't. Now you have a mixture which will not promote one or the other. So as opposed to having 1 black, 1 white, and 1 Hispanic, you don't know exactly what you get. Statistically speaking, you're probably going to get 2 whites and 1 minority. And some will argue that now there is no proper representation of this group of people. So now it's up to the people in Tallahassee to figure out basically what they're doing is figuring out if they're going to draw the blocks this way or if they're going to draw the blocks that way. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. In a moment, I'm going to slide over and I'm going to show you what Corey Brown's district looks like. Because what her district is, this is the state of Florida. Again, I'm not an artist, but you kind of get the idea. That's Jacksonville. This is Tallahassee, where all the fun is going on right now. Over here is Pensacola. It's about Orlando. And we'll say this is Miami, Tampa. All right. Corrine Brown's district, just kind of snakes in and out and up through Daytona and then back through Orlando and a little piece down there and comes back around and skips and dips. Corrine Brown's district looks like this, while other districts are more, shaped in a continuous manner. And again, they say, hey, that's because you're artificially creating this, you're gerrymandering this, and some people just flat out don't like it. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk tomorrow again with the supervisor of elections, Jerry Hollins, and he's going to break this down in a way in which we can all understand it, because there's a whole lot more hairy than this, because when you move her district, you're going to have to move somebody else's district. And how does that affect the constituents? How does it affect the people? So if you move it now, the people that's never heard of Corrine Brown, how do they know to vote for or who to vote for? How do they know if they like her or not like her? How do they know if she's a great representative or not? Or whoever else is moved around as well. So the problem lies there, and we as the citizens, we're going to suffer if we don't pay attention. This is the type of stuff you're going to hear on Let's Talk Politics with Frederick Wilson. When is the show? Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's the title of the show? Let's Talk Politics with Frederick Wilson. Call-in number, 917-932-1078. Who am I? I am he. See you tomorrow.